So we basically ran away. This is the traumatic part. I'm terrified. Straight after that boy took that picture, the police came and intercepted and pulled them to the side. And I just heard someone shout, "Holly Lang!" Think about respect when you're taking pictures over your shoulder. I don't know what went through my mind in this moment. Hi guys, it's Holly, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a more chilled, laid back video today. As you can tell by the background, it's midnight. Let's just get cozy, grab some drinks, grab some popcorn. This is going to be a more chatty video. I'm also going to be drinking with you. It is midnight, but I'm going to have some wine. And I'm going to tell you a few story times about my worst fan experiences. First, I need to do a few disclaimers. I don't call any of my viewers or followers fans. I think that's really cringe. I just call you guys my viewers, followers, or supporters. I'm very grateful to all of you guys that I do meet and I speak to in real life, but these are the worst experiences that I've had with meeting people. You could argue that some of these people aren't actually supporters, but you can make your own mind up when we get to that. Okay, first I'm going to explain how I know when someone is about to come up to me. I don't want this to come across as me being like cocky, like, oh, those people over there recognize me, because it's not like that. But once you've experienced this same kind of thing a few times, you start to pick up on what's going to happen next. I can now tell who does recognize me and who's going to come over. They all do the same thing and they make it so obvious. Most of the time they're really lovely when they do come over, though it's just a couple of times that I've had bad experiences. So usually if someone recognizes me in public, they will speak to their friends or speak to their family that they're with. They will look at me, then they'll look back to their family, and then their family will look at me, and then they'll look on their phones or something, show their phones around, and then they'll all look at me again. So anyway, so the first story is I was in York with my boyfriend quite recently actually, and me and my boyfriend were in a shop and we went upstairs, and it was like a really small quiet shop. We were upstairs, we were the only people up there, and then this couple walked in behind us and came upstairs, and my boyfriend said to me that he saw them looking at me downstairs, but I just wasn't looking around. So my boyfriend said that they followed us upstairs. We were just looking at things, they were looking at things, like we didn't speak to them. And then we went downstairs to pay and they came downstairs as well. They didn't have anything to buy, but they were kind of like taking their time, like hanging around as I was paying. We left the shop and then they left as well. That could have just been a coincidence, but wait. We then went into another shop and they also followed us in there. You could say maybe that's a coincidence as well. Hold on. Oh, it's got a bit of a, oh, that might be moldy now. I've had this in my room for like 2 weeks and I drink a bit every now and then. And it's not been in the fridge, like I do think it's gone off. Anyway, after the second shop we went in, they left before us, but we could see them standing outside the shop through the window. One of them had their phone out as well and they were like looking at it. And then we left the shop and they were still stood there, but they were both looking at the phone then. So this, I don't know if this is really bad or not. I just felt a bit uncomfortable at that point because it's like, are you gonna keep following us all day? I don't know if they were coming over. So we just carried on. We walked around the corner because they were obviously looking at their phones. We thought maybe they didn't see us walk out of the shop. I turned around and they came around the corner as well and they were looking right at me. When they saw me looking at them, they then looked away and I think they went into another shop then. So we basically ran away. I don't want to say like, oh, they were following us or oh, they definitely knew me, but just the vibe that was there, like the fact that they were going in every shop after us and kind of like waiting outside for us, and then I don't know. The stories are going downhill from here. This next one actually happened in York again. Me and my boyfriend were getting lunch from just like a burger van. Imagine like a small patch of grass. There were kind of like places that you could sit around there, like on the walls and stuff. And me and my boyfriend were sat there. I was just eating my burger, and then a girl and a boy was sat across the other side of the grass eating my burger. And then I look over and see the girl with her phone out taking a picture. Yes, she could have been taking a picture of anything, but people have taken pictures of me without me kind of knowing. I'll get into those stories as well. I was eating my burger. I was actually sat cross-legged like this. Instantly when I saw her phone out, whether it was taking a picture of me or not, I turned around. That was just my initial reaction. It was because of another story that happened, which I'm gonna tell you. And my boyfriend was still facing her and he was still saying that when I turned my back, they reacted like, oh. And then after that, I did turn around for a second just to see what they were doing, if they were still like looking or whatever. And this time she was taking a selfie. So she was sat, imagine you're me there So she was sat like this. I didn't really explain it properly, but from what I could see from her phone, I don't think she was even in the frame. So it was like I could just see myself and the grass area in between us, like she wasn't even in the selfie. So that was what made me think like, oh, she is actually taking it of me. Okay, the next story was the traumatic one that I kept mentioning in the last one. This story is the reason why I don't want people taking pictures of me without the consent being there, you know. I was in a pub having food. A group of girls came and sat in front of me. So I was sat on the table here and then they were sat on a table there. The two girls in question had their backs to me. So I could see the back of their heads basically. And they were just sat like on their phones talking and whatever. The only thing I saw was my TikTok page up in their phones. I just looked over and I could obviously see their phones because I was seeing the back of their heads. That is what I could see, my TikTok, which is fine. But they were just showing each other my page, like right in front of me. I don't know if they knew that I could see their phones. Then I saw that they were in a group chat and they were sending screenshots of my TikToks into this group chat. Anyway, this is the traumatic part. So one of them took a picture of me on Snapchat. I literally saw the picture of myself and I was midway eating my food. It was a picture of me like this. At least let me pose for the photo. I didn't see her take the photo, but I saw after when she had it up on her Snapchat because she was like showing her friend. Her phone was literally being waved in front of my face basically without her knowing, and I could just see the picture of myself. I saw it was on Snapchat as well, and I don't know what she did with it after that. I don't know if she put it on her story, sent it to her friends, but I just felt a bit violated in a way. Like maybe it's not that deep, maybe I'm overreacting, but it's the fact that I was just like minding my own business. But yeah, they never spoke to me, by the way. They left after their meal, didn't even look at me. Oh my god, I just remembered a really crazy story. So me and my friend went to London for the day. We were on the train and this group of young lads, they were like 12. When we got off the train, they got off as well when we got to London. A couple of them were like walking next to me and they already had my TikTok up on their phone. They came up to me, shoved their phone in my face with my TikTok page on, and they were like, "Is this you?" I'm terrified. I was just like, yes. And by the way, I can see if you follow me or not when you're showing me your phone asking, is this you? That happens quite a lot where people come up to me with their phones with my TikTok page on it and they say, is this you? And it says that they don't follow me. Anyway, moving on. He was like, is this you? I said yes. And then his friend was like, oh, you don't even follow her. And he was like, yeah, I know, but she's famous, so I've got to get a picture with her. Just like talking about me in front of me. By the way, I'm not famous, that's just what he said. I also forgot to mention that his friends were also saying like, oh my god, you've got 1 million followers, oh my god, you're verified, like when they were looking at the profile on his phone. So this whole group of boys just started joining in and being like, oh, can I have a photo? Can I have one? Because they thought I was like famous. I wouldn't say no to a picture, but also I was kind of like, the way that it all happened, I was like, don't really want to take a picture with you. Before I could say yes or no, he got his phone out and just took a picture with me. So I'll put the picture in now. I was literally like, because this was when you first get off the train into London, everyone's like walking out, you know, so we couldn't stop or anything. So we were all still walking. They were trying to get their phones out. But like, I was kind of being bombarded in a way, is the only way I can describe it. Is this you? Is this you? Oh, can we have a picture? Like shoving it in my face is how it happened. Straight after that boy took that picture, the police came and intercepted and pulled them to the side. Like, you can't make this up. The police were waiting at the station for them and just wiped them out. Like, they were gone. And me and my friend looked behind like, what's happened? Where have they gone? They DM'd me on Instagram and told me what happened. Like, what? The boy that I took the photo with messaged me and he was like, I've been detained. I can't remember why. I'll have to try and find the messages. So this is what I put on my story straight after this incident happened when I was in the toilets in the train station, basically saying I've been bombarded. Then that boy messaged me from that story saying it was him. I also had a few more messages from his friends that night, but I can't find the messages. But one of them sent me a video of him actually in the police station or something, but I couldn't find those messages from him. I only have them from this one guy that I took the picture with. But they were all basically saying that they were being held at the police station or something. There you go. I think the boy was saying that he was wrongfully accused of selling drugs possibly, and the people on the train called the police, so that's why they were waiting at the final station. Anyway, I got too hot, I had to take off my dressing gown. This one was actually quite nasty, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think these were fans. But me and my friend were in the airport. It's so weird how all these stories take place in like random places. We were in the airport and we were about to board our plane, so we were at the point where we had to show our passports and then literally get onto the plane. There was a group of like 2 boys and 2 girls that were also there, so they were like stood in the other lane, and I just heard someone shout, "Holly Laing!" And me and my friend just looked at each other like, oh my god. I didn't even want to look at who said it, but the way that they said it was kind of like, it brought me back to like my school memories from when I got teased in school for doing YouTube. My YouTube name used to be Holly Lolly 999, and people used to shout that in the corridors, but in like a teasing way. So that's kind of the vibe that it gave me. So I was literally like, oh my god, how am I still being picked on when I'm like nearly 24? Anyway, what made it worse was that we had to go and queue with them outside next to them. So like we gave in our passports and stuff, and we had to queue outside to get onto the actual plane, and they were queuing right behind us. So if they did actually like me, they had a chance to speak to me then. They were genuinely right behind us, but they didn't even look at us then. But I think I was right to feel anxious in that moment, like someone shouting my name in an airport in front of everyone in that way, and then just not saying anything. It's so strange to me. I don't know. Am I overreacting to all of these? I think it all kind of stems from when I got picked on in school for doing YouTube. Maybe that's why I take these things so personally when it's actually not that big of a deal. So just keep in mind, be nice to people. Like, just think about respect when you're taking pictures over your shoulder. Thank you. Just because I put myself online, it doesn't mean that I would be fine with people taking non-consensual pictures of me. But I hope none of these came across as me being like big-headed or anything, because that's not the case at all. Like, and who knows, maybe some of these people, you know, the first people that were kind of stalking us, maybe they actually didn't know me and it was just a coincidence. I'm not saying that they did definitely know me, but that's not me saying like, oh my god, I'm so famous, everyone knows me. I hope that's clear. Anyway, I wanted to finish off by telling you a funny story that I just thought of. This is not anything to do with the video really, but I just wanted to tell it here because I think it's so funny. I was on a train home from London one day. I was with my friend, and then there were 2 guys sat in front of us. I didn't have any earphones. It was quite late. Me and my friend weren't talking because we were so like drained and stuff from the day, and I was just listening to this conversation from these guys in front of us. They were talking, this is so stupid. They were talking about a Disneyland ride that used to be there. Michael Jackson basically did a music video called Captain EO. They made it into a ride at Disneyland, and I went to that ride and I took a picture outside it because obviously I love Michael Jackson, so I do have a photo outside that ride. I don't know what went through my mind in this moment, but yeah, they were talking about it. I'd never heard anyone talking about this ride, so I was like, that's really cool. I want to send them a photo of it. This is so weird. I don't know why I did this. I was sat right behind them on the train. I found the photo and I looked on AirDrop to see if they had their AirDrop on. I didn't know their names, obviously, because I didn't know them. So there were only like 2 people that came up on AirDrop. One of them was them. I AirDropped it and it came up on his phone. And I just remember him saying like, oh, that's so weird. We were just talking about this and I've just been airdropped this photo. What I wanted to happen was, in such a weird way, I kind of wanted to be involved in the conversation because I love Michael Jackson. So instead of me like tapping them and saying like, oh my god, I went to that ride as well, like, do you like Michael Jackson? Instead of doing that, which would be the normal thing to do, I airdropped them a photo of me outside the ride, which just shows I had just listened to their conversation. So I was hoping that once they'd been sent the photo, they would kind of turn around and I'd be like, that was me. But that would actually be so much weirder if they had done that. Luckily, they didn't do that. They just looked at it and said, oh, that's weird, and then just carried on with their conversation. That's actually weird. That was like last summer. It wasn't even that long ago. Why did I do that? Anyway, I'm gonna end the video now, but thank you guys so much for watching. I'm trying to post as often as I can. I hope you can see that I'm trying. And I'm really excited to post more of my moving out series as well, so make sure you follow me for that to go on my moving out journey with me. I will see you in my next video. Bye!